My name is Caitlin Coley. I am the puppy raising manager here at Dogs Inc. And then this is Anissa Bruno. She is our puppy placement coordinator. That is the right reaction. We are both newer to Dogs Inc. She started in November and I started here in March. So she came onto the puppy raising team in April. So we've been really grateful for the outpouring of support from not only the team that was here before us, but also all of the racers that have been very welcoming and just very fluid with us coming onto the team and just being very understanding of that. We did have a question over on the parking lot board that I wanted to answer that is related to naming before we get into our presentation. Someone asked, how far in advance do we have to submit a name for our next puppy? So when you are getting ready to pick up a puppy, or when you're matched with a puppy, we should say, you're gonna get this little email template from Anissa. With that, you're gonna submit your top 3 names within 24 hours of receiving that email. So that's what we need from you. It's not really so far in advance. It's as soon as you get that email from her is when we're asking you to start sending us those names. Once you give us those names, then we're going to get back to you within, we're saying about 3 days is when we're going to make sure that we have those approved names back to you so you'll know what your puppy's name is going to be, which is so exciting. And then the follow-up to that was, are there specific rules for the names? And the answer is yes. We kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but to go a little more in depth, we're doing we're not doing repeat names in the last 12 months. So that's something that we look into to make sure that's not confusing for our instructors here on campus, to prevent duplicate names, which we know happens. There's also, we call it a curve test, which is making sure that the names being submitted are appropriate for the graduates that they will end up going to. And then we do have the times where we have pup pals, which hopefully a lot of y'all know about those, but those are the monthly dogs that have the little photo shoots, the themed names and everything like that. So with those specific ones, you're gonna have a short list of names to choose from, and then those would be the, I guess, rule, if you will, for those kinds of names. I hope that answered. Yeah? All right, we can go ahead and get started. Yeah, sorry. No alcohol names. That is part of the, that does roll into kind of, like I said, the curve test that we do. So if that does get submitted, maybe just choose a different one, because it's not going to be that one, I can promise you right now. Today we're going to be starting to talk about the placement puzzle, which is the behind the scenes of puppy assignments. Why it's not just pick a puppy, but the perfect pairing. For puppy placements, we're going to talk about why matching matters.
So we want to always set the puppy up for success, and we want the raiser to have the best experience. So it matters because we want to ensure the home is a compatible environment. It helps us and the trainers, advisors, come up with a plan. What kind of structures does the puppy need? What kind of exposures, training pace and style, making sure that it matches up with the puppy and the raiser.
And then some of the key factors that we do consider are the, sorry,
you're fine. So things that we consider are the experience level of the raiser. Is it a first-time raiser? Did they just return a pup to freshman orientation? Have they been doing this for years and years and they're a Hall of Famer? So we always look at the experience when we're matching a puppy to them. We want to know about household dynamics. So do these people have children that this puppy will be competing with? Are there other pets in the home that we need to know about? Something else that we like to know is lifestyle and daily routines. I don't know everything about you guys, but your advisors and club leaders are really good at giving me some of these information about you. Also, when you guys are doing your repeat raiser form, you can always add in these things to help me when I'm matching you guys. So, do you live a retired lifestyle? Are you kind of slow paced? You know, wake up in the morning, hang out around the house? Do you work part-time from home? You know, you're bringing the kids to school in the morning, then you're going to sporting events in the afternoon. So different things. Do you live in a more rural area or a more city area? So all of these different things help us make the perfect match. And then we also look at the puppy temperament and energy. And so at 8 weeks, they do a behavior checklist in Puppy Academy. And so we look at that, and we'll dive into that a little bit more. And then we also look at the puppy's energy. We don't want to give a crazy puppy to someone who might have some mobility issues or things like that.
So part of the considerations of doing their matches do consist of the puppy's personality. I know that is kind of a snapshot of what we're seeing in those first 8 weeks, but it does play a big part in setting y'all up for success with your puppy.
So when they do the behavior checklist around that 8-week mark, they're at assessing these different things. So confidence level, is this puppy bold or is this puppy more cautious? Energy level, are they like constant motion or are they just kind of like a potato? They're okay to like watch life go by. How sensitive are they? So how easily startled or activated do they get? And then resilience. How quickly can they bounce back from stressful situations? And then sociability. Are they looking, to connect with people all the time, or would they rather just kind of have their quiet alone time? So when they're doing this 8-week assessment, it's about a 20-30 minute snapshot of the assessor going through different things. So they're opening an umbrella, kind of startling the puppies a little bit and seeing how they react to this umbrella opening up. They put a vacuum on and have them walk by the vacuum or a fan. And so they kind of look at all of these different things and see how the puppies react. And that's kind of how we'll get their temperament.
So the temperament is derived from that 8-week assessment. And this I kind of talked about a couple of the trials that the puppies go through, if you will. And then this language that you see here, this is what we typically kind of group the puppies into.
Yeah, so when we give out our puppy offers to your advisors and club leaders, this is the information that they're looking at, and so some of you might be familiar with this information. So I'm just going to kind of go through each one and kind of what each one means. The first one is confident and on their own agenda. We don't see this one really often at all. This puppy is bold, self-assured, independent decision makers. They're not really looking to you. They think they got it. And so we really don't have many of those, so that's really great. Next, we have confident and biddable. So they have healthy curiosity, they're comfortable in their environment, they will remain connected to their person. These puppies are eager to learn, eager to work. Then we have reserved but biddable. This is kind of what we see a lot of, just run-of-the-mill, average puppy. They have a few different things they need to work on, but once they make the connection to their handler, they're eager, they're ready, they're motivated for those treats. They want to, please their raiser, but they could be working, maybe they're a little inhibited with certain noises or things like that. So they just got to work on a couple of things. And then reserved and low confidence. These puppies can be significantly inhibited or activated. They need some patience, some time, reassurance that everything is going to be okay, life is okay, and it doesn't have to be so scary. So we just need a little bit more of a calm environment, some patience. So yeah, those are the temperaments that we have.
With that information in mind, we are going to do a little activity where y'all are going to be the coordinators. So, keeping in mind, be nice to Anissa moving forward. On your tables, I did put out just 2 per table. I think on the bigger tables I might have put 3, but there's little handouts that have these raiser profiles and then also the profiles of the puppies that we're looking at matching with them. There really are no right or wrong answers, and that's kind of the point of this, but we'd really love to see what you guys think. So get looking at those, and then this is going to go over some of these profiles.
Yeah, so there's a lot here. Sometimes we have a lot of information, and sometimes I don't have a lot of information. So always, like I said, the more information I have about you guys, the best match I can make. So the first raiser that we have is Kimberly. We know that she is new. She's a first-time raiser. She has a quiet apartment. She works from home. She thrives on structure and routine, and she is a very nurturing, calm personality. Next we have Kylie. She's moderate. She just turned her first pup into freshman orientation, and she picked her next one right back up. She's like ready for it. She is a college student who lives on campus. She also has a co-raiser that lives on campus with her, so they'll get to tag team the puppy that they are matched with. She has a part-time job, so she's a tutor on campus. So her schedule is very flexible. Things are shifting sometimes. Day-to-day might look a little bit different, but week to week it's pretty the same. So there is some routine and structure there. She enjoys training in short bursts of time in between classes, and she enjoys outdoor, and she has an active lifestyle. And then we have Dana. She is our Hall of Famer. She has been with us for a very long time. She has a family of 4. She has 2 kids under 10, so she can juggle those kids and this puppy. She has a stimulating home, but it's also very structured. And she has the ability to bring the puppy to work, and then they have busy weekends, so they'll be going to different sporting events for the kids and things like that.
All right, and now we're going to look at some of these puppies that we're looking to match with those raisers.
All right, so our first puppy we have is Ace. He's a black lab male. He is described as reserved and low confidence. So he's calm, gentle. He's a little bit cautious and inhibited in new environments. He loves to snuggle, but he needs some time and patience to build up that confidence. Then we have Daisy. She's a yellow lab female. She is reserved but biddable. So she's thoughtful in new environments, and she responds well to clear expectations, and she benefits from repetition. So repeating different lessons multiple times, and always just going back to lessons will be helpful for her. Then we have Sunny. She is a yellow Goldador female. You can even tell by the picture, she is a little bit spunky. She is high energy, enthusiastic, super social, but she can be a bit impulsive. She can learn quickly, but needs that consistency, and she is always looking for outlets to get her energy and mental stimulation, and she's confident but biddable. So now is time for you guys to take a couple of minutes and match. And no right or wrong answers, but we will go through what we would match and kind of the reasons behind why we would match them that way.
All right, we're going to look at kind of going over what we thought. So for Kimberly.
All right, we matched Ace with Kimberly. We did this because of he needs a calm start. So he needs a calm, stable environment to build up that confidence. Kimberly, this is going to give her such a good experience. She's kind of like a more mellow type of person, so she doesn't want any, crazy, like barking or energetic puppy. So this will be a great first-time experience for Kimberly as well. Working from home will give him like consistent, gentle presence of I'm here, it's okay. That will help him build his confidence, and her predictability and routine is really going to help him thrive. And so we went back and forth a little bit on this one. So typically somebody like Ace you might want to give to a more experienced raiser. So we talked about giving Ace to Dana. However, 2 kids under 10, Ace would completely probably shut down. there wouldn't be a lot of growth there. Dana would have to work so hard to really get him out of his shell. She probably doesn't have the patience to be dealing with, you know, little ones and this kind of more needy puppy. So that's why we matched Ace with Kimberly.
And then for Kylie.
Then Kylie, we matched Sunny. So the roommate, college campus, life, will give them great people exposure. So it'll help her build like friendly confidence and, you know, help her be more calm around people. With a positive, fast-paced, and engaging training, that's going to be amazing for Sunny. She has that, like, you know, short bursts of like energy. She kind of is like squirrel. So you want to like really rein her in. So the short bursts in between classes is going to be perfect for a puppy like Sunny, and she'll get variety and movement. You know, going around a college campus. You know, meeting different people, going class to class. So she'll definitely get a lot of movement when she's with Kylie. Then we have Daisy with Dana. So Dana has that experience that will help build Daisy's confidence. The family environment will offer natural and daily socialization. They'll build trust, adaptability. Daisy won't have to compete for attention. She'll have always somebody there to help her, give her that attention and love, so she can build that bond with that family. And then her structured yet stimulating home is ideal for a pup who needs that more consistent and structure. So that's how we matched. We said Sunny would be a little too overwhelming, definitely, for Kimberly. And then for Dana, that would just be really overwhelming with the two kids and all of that. And then Daisy's one of those run-of-the-mill puppies that kind of could have won to any razor. So, I'm being told to wrap up. We've got puppies waiting. Sometimes we have home changes, and that's okay. So I'm going to touch on it really, really fast. So sometimes home changes are planned, and sometimes they're not planned, and that's okay. Puppies evolve in ways that we don't expect. Behavior comes out, and maybe you don't feel equipped or ready to handle something like that. There's never any judgment. We always want to do what's best for the puppy, and we want you guys to have the best experience ever. So, you know, always being flexible and communicating with your club leader and your advisor of how you're struggling or what you need. When we do home changes, it helps generalize those skills. Every razor offers unique experiences, and so it always can be a benefit. So it's never a failure. We're one big team here. Whether you raise for a month or full term, you guys all are making a huge difference in these puppies' journey, and we are always so appreciative of it. All right, we are ready for puppies. These puppies are ready for you guys.
So if we would have Caitlin Rosenberg, Janet Mills, Lori Wadsworth, Susan Cockville, Amra Dillard-Brickwa, and Jenny Scamardo start making your way up to the stage.
Come on up to the stage. Oh my God, puppies! They're being wheeled over here on carts. Alrighty.
Ready for your first one? This is Laura. Yes.
Alright. Going to Carrie.
Alrighty. This is going to be Caitlin Rosenberg's puppy.
Here, spread down the stage. Spread.
Caitlin,
Yes, spread.
when did you decide to name your puppy?
Here, I'm just gonna have you down.
Caitlin really likes the name Ellie.
It's like puppies! What do we got next?
Up next, we should have Purple for Janet. Janet did get one of our pup pals, which means that this puppy's going to be featured next month. She's going to have a little photo shoot. What name did you end up going with?
Well, I was given a list of options and we decided on Apple.
Up next, we have Lori. She's going to have yellow collar. Lori is a part of our San Antonio club. Lori, who'd you go with? Alamo. We will have to change that name on that banner. We have Alamo.
No, you can do Alamo. We are flexible.
I'm so excited.
We'll get together afterwards. No worries. What color will be next?
Oh my
This will be for Susan. Susan, what name did you go with?
My grandfather's name, Timmy.
There's little Tenny. Oh. And then we have senior advisor Amra. Amra, what name are you going to give your puppy?
So we decided, cheese just really makes me happy. And so everything's better with cheddar, so it's cheddar.
And then we have Jenny and Jenny's puppy. Jenny, what name did we go with?
Oh, you have to start every day with a heart-healthy meal, so this is oatmeal.
My goodness. So the two on this end and the two on that end are all siblings. If you cannot tell, they are Fluffy and Chunky. That just about wraps it up. Kimberly, do you have some final words?
I don't have